Haha, I love how I talked to myself for like 2 whole minutes before I realized I did not unmute myself. Hilarious. Oh man. Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. So lovely to reconnect with you all one last time for this meditation.
I love how I talk to myself for like 2 whole minutes.
Okay, there's that delay. It does sound like sound is coming through. So we're good on that front. And yeah, welcome. Hello, Jessica. Or Bikram. How are you? Welcome. Allison Sco, Sherry, and Gemini Princess. Welcome. Phoenix Jordan, what up, honey? Welcome, welcome. Emily Wynn, yes, it's so good to have you here. Hey, Hazel Star, welcome. Ooh, I love that dolphin, Phoenix. Kyla, hello, hello, hello. All right, since I'm just a few behind, let's jump right on in. We'll have a little bit of extended time for, open sharing and Q&A at the end here. Actually, before I start, I want to make sure the sound is okay because I'm in a new location and I need a pretty big fan in this location. So you guys can let me know if you are hearing me okay. That would be great. It is fun seeing familiar names. It's like we're a little family, community. Kind of echoey. Let's see if I can make some adjustments. Uh-oh. That's a weird thing. All right. Hang on, guys. I see why there is an echo. Let me troubleshoot that. Okay. Thank you for letting me know, Jessica. How about now? Let me know how the sound is at this point. We'll go ahead and begin. It's a little tinny. Yeah, I need a new mic, fam. That's one of the tasks. Gemini Princess, it's totally okay if you fall asleep. No one faults you. You are going to be okay. But did the echo go away? The tinny I cannot fix, but if the echo went away, then we'll go ahead and begin. Yeah, it's that fan, man. Let me see if I can turn it down. I'll just see if that works a little bit better. Maybe that cleans up some of the outside sound. How do you not fall asleep? We'll talk about that in a second. Like a machine. Interesting. That is so odd. But if I know what I can do. Sorry, my sound in this location is always a little bit hit or miss. This is much better. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Jessica. I appreciate you working with me on that. It's very, very helpful. Okay, how do you not fall asleep? Real quick, I'll walk you through it. There are 2 options. Number one, I always sit at the edge of a chair so that I'm supporting my own back with my posture. And it's not about having perfect posture. It's just about my abdominals needing to remember to not let me fall. So it's more about just sitting there. So you could just as easily be sitting on a stool. It's not about having the perfect posture. But I sit at the edge of a chair, both feet on the floor. The second thing that you can try, and that worked for me really well in the beginning, is I created hand movements for myself. As you know, there are three stages of commands that we work with for every chakra, and I just made up hand movements that emulated conducting the energy to go with the commands that I had, and that helped me to stay with it. And I needed to do that for a few weeks actually before my mind and my body could kind of click into what we were doing. So if you sit cross-legged, it's a lot easier to fall asleep, to get really tired, to need to lay down. But I have found feet on the floor, back unsupported works best for me. It's one of those little meditation secrets that allows you to slip into theta without going too far and getting into delta and going into REM sleep. So, um, oh, Emily, thank you for saying that. Oh, Emily, thank you. Awesome. Okay, let me get into the introduction, guys. I don't want to get too far without doing that part. Welcome to the 12th day of this Christ consciousness meditation. This is the final day of 12. We will meditate together for roughly about an hour. And during our time together, we're going to do some work aligning ourselves to love. When I call for the Christ consciousness timeline, I recognize that you may have a different teacher who's taught you about unconditional love. And so you may insert the name of that teacher at that point in time. And you can just say the name of that teacher timeline. Um, We'll sit together, and then at the very end, we'll do a special healing meditation for a challenge facing some of the humans on Earth at this time. I have already pre-selected that, so when we get there, we'll work on that together. Today, we're going to be working specifically to heal the hearts and souls and minds of people who have either been trafficked, bought, and sold, or people who are involved in the human trafficking industry, labor, sex, otherwise, or other exploitative work of other human beings, so that all humans have the opportunity to receive a healing that moves them toward their freedom and off the timeline of enslavement. So we're going to do that today. That being said, the way the meditation works is we're going to work with the chakras. You can see what they are on the left side of the screen and what they stand for on the right. During this meditation, you may feel sensations in all of the chakras. Don't worry too much about it unless you're in pain, of course. Then you should let me know at the end. But other than that, the sensations will come and go, images will come and go. It's not you checking out, it's your chakras revealing the ways in which you're anchored and tethered to 3D at this time. Just allow them to be what they are and move through the commands to clear and heal and align to love as we go. When we begin working, I am going to prompt you to create a sphere of energy protection around you before you begin. And anytime you do this meditation in the future, it'll be very important for you to do that. When we get to the place when we talk about the third eye, I'm going to ask you to look for the place within you where the third eye and the crown chakra meet. It's right about there, just behind your temple, or just kind of above the temple and behind the eyes. Okay. Excuse me. All right. We are going to start at the heart, and we'll move our energy down through each of the lower chakras, up, out, and around, then back into the crown, and then back again through the heart. We'll do something special when we get to the crown up here. So just listen out for that because it'll be a little different than what we've done for the other chakras. Ultimately, what we're doing is we're creating a heart-based toroidal field, and you can see an image of what that looks like on the screen. And so this particular toroidal field is one that can expand and contract with you. And we're going to expand it to the point where we are connected together all as one, embracing the earth and the people on it. By the time we're done, we'll have activated our toroidal column of light. And the toroidal column of light is simply the state of beingness where all chakras have started to vibrate at the same frequency and then expanded and merged into a singular energy centered through your body, anchored in the heart. And that's what we're going for, is a heart anchored singular energy field of unity within ourselves, integration within ourselves. So that being said, let's go on ahead and begin. If you all would be so good as to find your positions wherever you're going to meditate today. I, again, highly recommend feet flat on the floor, sitting at the edge of a chair. It's not about perfect posture. It's just about reminding your body that it needs to not let you fall over. So don't get into perfection with this. Just sit there. And then just allow your energy to arrive here today. Allow your energy to arrive. If you would, just give yourself that gentle acknowledgement, that thank you. Thank yourself for doing this today. And thank yourself for doing what you could. And if you would, begin to create a sphere of protection around you. Front and back, above and below, left and right. And from our mastery, let's provide it with some instruction for what it needs to do for us. I now command that only that which is love may enter this space. If you would, just begin to bring your attention to your heart. If you like, you may give it a gentle command. I now command this source energy center to open. Just allow yourself to be whatever comes up with your attention on your heart. And now let us command the transmutation of harm to love. I now command anything that has emanated from this source energy center that has caused harm be bound, rendered neutral, and sent back to source for a full transmutation to love. I now command this source energy center arise and align. Oops, scratch that, roll it back. I now command source love come down and flood this source energy center and all those harmed places, making them whole again. I now command this source energy center to arise and align to the Christ consciousness timeline for it and all associated cells and DNA to reconfigure and match the frequency of Christ consciousness. And gently bring your attention now to your solar plexus. I now command this source energy center to open. I now command anything that is emanated from this source energy center that has caused harm be bound, rendered neutral, and sent back to source for a full transmutation to love across all timelines, spaces, and dimensions. I now command source love to come down and flood those harmed places and this source energy center, making them whole again. I now command this source energy center to arise and align to the Christ consciousness timeline for it, and all associated cells and DNA to reconfigure and match the frequency of Christ consciousness. And now just bring your attention to your sacral. I now command this source energy center to open. I now command anything that is emanated from this source energy center that has caused harm be bound, rendered neutral, and sent back to source for a full transmutation to love across all timelines, spaces, and dimensions. I now command this source energy center, source love, come down and flood this source energy center and all those harmed places, making them whole again. I now command this source energy center arise and align to the Christ consciousness timeline for it and all associated cells and DNA to reconfigure and match the frequency of Christ consciousness. And now let us bring our attention to our root. I now command the source energy center to open. I now command anything that is emanated from this source energy center that has caused harm to be bound, rendered neutral, and sent back to source for a full transmutation to love. Across all timelines, spaces, and dimensions. I now command source love to come down and flood this source energy center and all those harmed places, making them whole again. I now command this source energy center to arise and align to the Christ consciousness timeline for it, and all associated cells and DNA to reconfigure and match the frequency of Christ consciousness. Now bring your attention to your third eye. Now command this source energy center to open. I now command anything that has emanated from this source energy center that has caused harm to be bound, rendered neutral, and sent back to source for a full transmutation to love. I now command source love come down and flood the source energy center and all those harmed places, making them whole again. I now command this source energy center arise and align to the Christ consciousness timeline for it, to all associated cells and DNA to reconfigure and match in the frequency of Christ consciousness. Now bringing your attention to your throat. I now command this source energy center to open. I now command anything that has emanated from this source energy center that has caused harm to be bound, rendered neutral, and sent back to source for a full transmutation to love. I now command source love to come down and flood this source energy center and all those harmed places, making them whole again. I now command this source energy center to arise and align to the Christ consciousness timeline for it and all associated cells and DNA to reconfigure and match the frequency of Christ consciousness. And now, if you would, just bring your illuminated throat down to your illuminated heart and feel them beginning to merge. Bringing those two into your solar plexus. Allowing that merge once again. Now merging with the sacral and the root. Bringing that energy through the root, out, up, and around and back in through your crown. Now allowing that energy to merge with the third eye and connect that third eye to the rest of the ascension column, allowing them all to vibrate as one column of light. Allowing that energy to continue to flow fully through you, fully around you, encompassing you in love. And just above your crown, if you would, begin to visualize the symbol of unconditional love. And allow that symbol to now merge with your crown chakra, lighting it up, allowing that crown chakra to illuminate with love. And this symbol doing for this chakra in one step what we've done for all the others. Finding harm, becoming love, and ascending to Christ consciousness. Just allow that loving symbol to now come through your ascension column, moving all the way through, down, out, around, surrounding you in the symbol. Now you're inside of it. And then shrinking again to come back through your crown. Just watch it move. Feel what it's like. And on the next flowing of that symbol through you, just allow it to come to rest in your heart. Energy still moving, symbol resting in your heart. And now begin to see the sphere of love around you expanding to fully fill up the room that you're in, and then fully begin to fill up the building that you're in, paying careful attention to see how your field of protection expands with your love energy. and expand past your building to fill your entire block or street with love. And energy moving through you, out and around you. Expand again to fill your city or your town. And once again to fill your state or island or territory or province. And then just allow yourself to keep going, paying attention to when your bubble of love is gently nudged like a balloon from another bubble of love. When you feel one of your other meditators, just ask them, may we connect heart to heart. Very good. If you haven't felt a bubble yet, it's okay. Just keep expanding until you do. Noticing how everyone's sphere of protection is also now protecting everyone else. Fully protected, heart to heart, around the world. Just soak in the love energy. Keep running your energy. Noticing how good love feels. Okay, so the guidance has arrived for how we will do this particular healing. To start with, there are two parts. So once again, the guides have prompted me and shown that one of the many ways modern day trafficking of human souls occurs is through technology. So if you would find a comfortable way to place your hands on or near your technology, however you're connecting today. And if you're closer to your Wi-Fi system, you can send energy to your Wi-Fi or to your internet. And just allow that symbol of love in your heart to begin to emanate and spread down your shoulders, your arms, and into your hands. And just see it moving through your hands and into your technology. And now let's just provide it with some commands. I now command this love energy and frequency to bind itself to any and all signals coming from the internet, having to do with the trafficking of human souls. I now command this love energy to find the outposts for the sale of those souls, and to begin the process of healing all willing souls of those who would traffic. All those who would like to not do this, who want a different path, a different way of life. Any soul who has asked to find a higher timeline, I now command this love to their heart via these pathways. I now command this love, once resting in the heart of all willing, to be transmitted heart to heart to any and every trafficked soul they interact with. I now command this love to be transmitted heart to heart to any other trafficker they interact with who is also willing to receive the transmission of unconditional love and transcendence to the Christ consciousness timeline. Okay. I now command this love to stay anchored into these websites, anchored into these Wi-Fi signals. I command this love to stay anchored for as long as human beings need it for their healing and the conclusion of this timeline. Okay. As you are able, please bring your hands back to your body, releasing your hands from the transmission. Take a few deep breaths, reconnecting to our heart grid, reminding yourself that you are fully protected, seeing the protection, feeling your heart grid partner. Seeing that symbol of love in your heart. And just seeing that ascension column once again, lit up with light. If you'd like, move that symbol of love through the column of light once again. Let it spread out around you and envelop you in love. Coming back to the ground and shrinking and moving right through the ascension column again. Filling you with love. Reminding yourself that where there is love, there are miracles. And where there is love, there are breakthroughs and there is healing. Very nice. And just bringing that symbol to rest again in your heart to strengthen your heart. There you guys go. I can feel you again now. Very good. Very good, guys. Yes. Very good. All right. Okay. And now we are going to heal some timelines around this. So if you would, just bring your hands to your solar plexus and your heart. There we go. Once again, watching the symbol flow from your heart through your arms and into your solar plexus, back into your heart. Just see that love energy flowing into you, from you. Very good. All right. Now we'll just provide this love energy some commands. I now command this love energy to provide the loving completion and healing resolution of any and all timelines tied to these source energy centers and this soul, having to do with either being bought or selling human souls, being purchased as a soul or bought as a soul, completing all timelines, known and unknown, now. Transmuting them all and all of the energy in them to love. You don't have to see anything or know anything or experience anything. Just simply need to provide the love and the command. Love will do the rest. Just feel that love flowing from your hands back into your solar plexus, back into your heart. And as you're ready, just bring your hands back into your lap, palms facing up. And we'll provide the very last command for this piece of work this evening. With that love energy still flowing, just place your hands in front of you or rest them in your lap, allowing this love energy to bind with the ether as it moves through you. Now let's just give it a command. I now command this love energy bind itself to any soul who has lost their life being trafficked. And commend and escort that soul back to Source for a full transmutation to unconditional love in their next highest incarnation in love. Knowing that love energy has the power to do this, that you don't have to do anything, you're simply providing the love and directing its flow. Love coming through you, not from you. For our final command, I now command this love to be anchored in the ether for all souls having experienced this who need it to find their way back to Source and love. I anchor you now. Find your way to souls who need you now. And just see the love going wherever it needs to go. Beautiful, everyone. Nice work. And you may wish to stop the flow through your hands, either by creating a wiping movement up or down, or creating a circle, clockwise or counterclockwise. It's up to you. Anything that for you anchors the cease flow. And allows your energy to come to rest within your own field. Bringing your attention and awareness back to the symbol in your heart. Its luminosity, ever vibrant, ever glowing, ever loving. And you may wish to just move that symbol through your ascension column once again. Bring it all the way through the root. Expanding it fully out through your field so that you are resting in the symbol. Bringing the symbol back together at your crown. Watching that symbol begin to descend. And that love move right through your crown. Right through your ascension column. Back through the root again. Just breathing with the expansion of love and the filling with love. Reminding yourself that you don't have to do it all. You don't have to fix it all. The love is coming through you, not from you. And that Love is doing the work, that you can let go and let love do it. Gently bringing that symbol back to rest at your heart. Resting in the wisdom that you have done what you could today, and that it is enough. Knowing that love has wisdom far beyond what you can do or what you can create. That love will guide those ready where they need to be. And gently, once again, noticing your connection to your heart grid partners, thanking them for being a part of this great work. Whether you're tapping into the grid lines from the recording or you're here live, just thanking all who have shown up for this great work. Gently bringing your energy back to you, slowly coming back into your country, watching as your field of protection clings right to your field of love and comes with it wherever it goes. Always protected, always loved. Bringing your energy right back to your province, island, state, territory. And bringing that love energy back into your apartment, or your building, or your home, or your trailer, your camper. One step at a time. Going back to your street or your block, back into your room. Just noticing how that love symbol just radiates in your heart, providing you healing and wholeness. And that concludes our work for today, beloveds, and our final meditation. Feel free to stretch, shift positions, grab water. And if you need more time to soak in the love, just feel free to pause this. And you can join us for the Q&A as you're ready. Thank you so much, everybody. Wow. How powerful was that, huh? Super cool to be able to do that together. Thank you. What a gift. These are crazy powerful. Crazy powerful. It's quite blown away. Good time. 9:26. Wow. Thank you, Allison, and thank you all for being here for this. What a tremendous gift to be able to have created so much healing and so much love over these past 12 days. Thank you, guys. Wow. So, yeah, we are now open for sharing experiences. If you'd like to share what you've noticed, either in that particular meditation or what you've noticed having done, whatever number of meditations you have done, that would be fantastic. It would be fantastic to hear whatever it is you've experienced. Yeah, we did, Concrete Angel. We did. I also think we uplifted the timelines too. For the long term. But yeah, I'd love to know, those of you who've been doing this for a few days or for all the days, what you experienced, like where you're at now versus at the beginning, all of that. Let's see. Michelle Hahn says, "Thank you. I left my distractions get the best of me tonight." It's okay, Michelle. So I settled for just listening in, but glad to even have the opportunity to do so. Right on, Michelle. I'm grateful you were here nonetheless. Thank you. Danette shares, "I work with little girls who have been abused physically and sexually, and also teens who have been trafficked." Wow, it's intense, Danette. I can't express how grateful I am for all the healing on these 2 nights, healing these themes. Yeah, it's really needed. Wahoo is right, Phoenix. Wahoo! Orba Crone, absolutely. I enjoyed the meditations more soon. Thanks, Orba Crone. It was great to have you here for all of this. And thanks for sharing, Orba Crone, about those, the crystal mats. I definitely am thinking about looking into that. Not thinking about, but we'll likely look into it because that grounding thing that you talked about sounds like what this girl needs. Mama needs a grounding mat. Love House, thank you with all my heart. Thank you all for existing. Yeah, right? Come on. How special is this group? Awesome Sculpt shares, "I'm present to the power of the grid and the connection between light workers." It's intense. Like I really felt huge vibrations in my heart as you guys connected in. It was like that feeling, when like the blood rushes back in after you, like your limb goes numb, but it wasn't numb. It was just my heart vibrating as all of you all connected. It was so uplifting and so powerful. Annette says, "And I travel a lot in my dreams, and I have been busting up rings. And tonight I was able to revisit those scenes and heal those timelines." Yes, Danette, heal it, girl. That is awesome. Big hearts to you too, Kahani. Michelle says, I wish today wasn't the last day. I know. I know. We may do this again. I just need to listen in on the prompts. But I mean, for sure, feel free to use the meditation as you need. Somebody asked at the beginning, I believe it was Empress of Duality, how you stay awake. And I shared my tips for staying awake. But I'd love to know what your tips are as well. Like, how are you guys all staying awake for this? Sherry says, I think I've done 6 nights, and each night I found it easier to connect with the grid. Once I was able to fully connect, the love was beautiful. Yeah, it's a really special sensation when you start to feel the heart grid open up between us, even with only, 20 or so of us here, 30 or so of us here. When the energy is really concentrated through you and in you via your practice, the connection in the grid just begins to expand exponentially. And then it becomes very palpable to each of us here as souls. Like tonight was the first time I really felt it so richly, because each of you had been here so many times and I'd been connecting with you so many times. So that was awesome. Other experiences with the meditation over time? Anything else you want to share? You think might be useful for someone else to know in case they've experienced it too, or any questions? Does anyone have questions? Allison says, I drift at times, but trust that I am receiving and transmitting what my various bodies are ready for. That's right. That's it. That's totally the whole point, Allison. Right on. Concrete Angels shares, this meditation is extremely powerful. I am vibrating extremely high. I go from one triangle Bermuda to bridge weight. All right. Wait. Okay, cool. I am so happy that you are vibrating so high. That's good. That's a very good sign. Danette says, day 1 had a major snapping of my solar plexus, and it has been so intense since. But today, I had a realization that my confidence has been stripped away. Abandonment and rejection themes from my father and twin, but I wouldn't have been awakened to that without this meditation. Yeah. Meditation allows us to really tune in to what's going on. It's so often, I think I'm drifting off when, I command the chakras to open, and funny scenarios or pictures or sometimes daydreams will like float in. But then I just remember what that chakra is about, and I piece it together like a detective, really literally on the spot, like, oh, that's why I'm having this memory or this thought or this daydream, or because it's literally related to like sexuality and creativity, or it's literally related to trust. Or sometimes I'll just ask myself, oh, I'm on the root chakra. How is this related to trust? And then, boom, the awareness will flood in why that picture, why that memory, why that person is coming up at this time. So it'll allow you, one of the beautiful things about this meditation, Christ was really a ascended master incarnate in the physical form. When all the ascended masters incarnate in the physical form, they have that mastery over awareness that allows them to be able to perform tremendous miracles and healings in the 3D format. And so what we're doing here with each chakra, as we tune in, as we command the flooding with love, as we arise to the timeline of unconditional love, We are literally creating ourselves as ascended masters as well. We're creating our ascended mastery by first step, creating the awareness of what's really happening vibrationally, energetically, and physically all at one time. So very good, Danette. Right on, hun. Right on. I'm so happy to hear that. Allison shares, and I trust that in this practice I am expanding. That's right. The trust goes a long way, for sure. Sherry says, me as well, Allison. Danette shares, now I can focus on healing. Thank you so much. And thanks to everyone here. Right on. Very cool. Oh, you're linking it to Allison. Perfect. Yeah, that's the thing to do. It can feel like, oh, I'm daydreaming. You're not. You're not. Your awareness is taking in every command given, and it's responding to it with, well, this is what she needs to know. It may seem like it's off the topic, but I promise you it's not. Phoenix Jordan says, I'd love to stay connected in 3D to this group. Feels so good and really fun and powerful. It is a super powerful group, a super fun group. Amazing, amazing, amazing group. Orbicron says, do you recommend placing rough cut meditation crystals or crystal necklace on the chakras during meditation when possible? Orbicron, I recommend whatever works for you. So if you want to, I've never experimented with that. Let me see what my guides have to say. 1 second. They're kind of shrugging at me and kind of going, yeah, sure, why not? Whatever's going to allow you to tap in, tap in. And so, that's part of the reason why I show, the visual on the screen here of the chakras and what they stand for, because it assists in making the connection for people. And that's also why, when I was really like drifting way out and getting way distracted, like in the beginning with the meditation, they were like, use your hands, okay? So they're kind of pointing to that in the same way. They're saying, whatever helps you tap in, tap in. So yeah. Sherry says, yes, I realized I haven't fully healed from trauma I was exposed to by a soulmate from the past. Tonight helped that. Beautiful, Sherry. I'm so happy you were able to recognize that and that this evening helped. Mother Healer says, thank you, Kay, for your guidance. Thank you for this amazing group of healing and communion. It's a really beautiful group of communion, I agree. Kihani Vieira says, I'm having trouble in Brazil because of so many light languages and it's making it hard to stabilize my 5D body. How can we be source self instead of every Netiru? What magics, mantras, or ways? Great question, Kihani. Hard to stabilize 5D. All right, some of this may be personal, Kehani. Let me just channel in and see what's being said about this. Light language activation, difficult to stabilize 5D. Oh. Kehani, they asked me to ask you if you're earthing every day, if your feet are touching the ground, literally. Like, are your bare feet touching Mother Earth every single day? Because some of what they're saying is that, I got one mouth, guys. Help me out. Slow down just a little. So that's, okay, so they're saying that's step one. You can command it. You can turn the volume up and you can turn the volume down. You can speed up, you can accelerate, you can also slow down. You can tell them what you need and the way you need it, and they will respond. The activation is for your service, not for your control. And it is for you to remember that as human incarnate, one of the powers given by the divine is the ability to command the unseen world. Okay? So if you need to slow down, ask your guides, however you speak to them, let them know very clearly, I need to sleep, I need to be able to digest food, and I fully need to be able to take in what you are sharing. Slow down. Or I need a break this week. Or I need a break for 48 hours. We can pick this back up. But specifically what they are talking about for I think this is for you, Kehani, the thing that they're specifically sharing on this is that there's a connection to the earth itself that needs to come through your feet, Kehani. That there's it's the energy is getting jammed because you're not connecting to the earth itself. And so it has nowhere to go. And it's trying to flow through you, but it can't because there's like either shoes on all the time or like a sedentary life, like you're not connecting to the earth outside the way you need to in order to anchor this. Um, so hopefully that helps a little bit. If you're already grounding, they're showing the need to ground more. Okay, have your feet on the earth. Slithering sound cat. Yes, hopefully you do make a good decision with the move, Kehani. Good luck with that. And trust yourself. The last thing they said was to write it down. However, because some of your transmission, Kehani, has to do with being able to write light language, not just be able to hear it and speak it. Some of your particular activation has to do with writing it. And so there's a little bit of an insistence and persistence from the other side that you channel the energy through your body. Yes, walking, yes, earthing, but also move it through your hands by writing. Okay. However, and it'll evolve over time, Gahani, the writing piece. But what's happening is it's getting stuck at the crown and it's not moving fully. It's getting stuck at the crown and the third eye, and your physical 3D body is needing to assist it. Okay. Slithering sound cat, is it really darkest before the dawn for humanity? It seems so dark and so few care. My DM has no hope, and he's very high in awareness, much higher than I. I feel far from home. Oh, slithering sound cat. Well, if we know anything about the way the earth is set up, yeah. Because that moment before dawn is the moment where there is no moon and there is no sun. That's literally how it works. Part of why this moment feels so dark from an astrological perspective is that the planet of hope, faith, and optimism is moving retrograde. It's not sharing its light with us at this time. And in addition to that, that planet is also meeting up with the planet that is about death and endings and transmutation and alchemy. And that happens on the 30th. So soon the planet that represents faith, hope, and optimism will move direct. But definitely during these periods of time, it can feel like we have to source our light from within because it's harder to find it outside, especially during 2020, where we have this meetup with Pluto. So, Cookie Martina says, tears rolling down my face when my hands was placed on the sacral, then focusing on the third eye, entire body got so hot. Yeah. Cookie, sometimes we don't even have to consciously know what's getting healed. Sometimes we don't have to know. Sometimes the healing just comes through us and the energy moves. Laughter, crying, sweating, shaking, and uh, yawning. All of those are signs that you are moving the energy through your physical body. You don't even have to know which energy. Sometimes it's better if the energy bypasses the conscious mind and just flows right through. So just keep allowing yourself to let the energy move however it wants to move. Kehani says, writing, yes, and grounding, yes. I knew I was supposed to be a vocational writer. Awesome. Well, do it, Kehani. Get after it, girl. Mother Healer says, hug a tree. It's one of the best ways to ground. Try to practice your bare feet on the root of the tree and imagine the roots spread and merge with your feet. It's a beautiful way to earth and ground. Absolutely. Allison shares, on the flip side of what you shared with Kehani, is it possible to ask for gifts to open more? Or is it simply surrendering to divine timing? There is a knowing, but a delay in them coming. That's interesting, Allison. Yeah. Sometimes gifts require practice in order to anchor, like what I was sharing with Kehani. Like she's got light language that can flow through her writing and through her hands. And if she's not writing, the energy will get jammed up at the sixth chakra and the seventh and the eighth for her. But if she's not actually practicing with the writing, it'll just stay jammed, right? And so it has to be cultivated and developed with practice. The same could potentially be true, that practice may be needed with the gifts, finding a way to be in practice with them, Allison. But then the other thing I'm seeing here is that, right, activations come sometimes planetarily. So major activations are like when Uranus hits your moon, your sun, your Venus, your Mercury, your Mars. Those are times of massive divinity activation when Uranus hits your personal planets, by square, conjunction, transit, etc. And those of you who have earth signs or who have fixed signs are getting major divinity activations these next few years with Uranus hitting in Taurus. So that's another way that could happen. So Allison, it may just be that it's unfolding at a, that one thing to honor and really respect is that it's unfolding at a rate that doesn't make you go cray cray. And that's a really divine gift, that it comes at a pace that your life can keep up with it. Because if it were to all come in at the same time, just imagine what your life might be like. And how the people around you who anchor you to earth might respond. So, there is something about this that is divine timing. Haley Alpert says, sometimes I feel like I'm not getting listened to and my guides make me feel other people's feelings and I tell it to go away and it doesn't. I very much relate to the response you gave, Kehani. Haley, that is awesome. I'm glad that related. And what I want to tell you is that if you are a natural born empath, you can't make it go away. Like, I'm a natural born clairaudient. I can't make the voices stop. I'm also discovering I'm rather clairvoyant. I also can't make the vision stop. Now, what I can do is decide what radio station I'm going to listen to. That I can control. But I'm built clairaudient, I'm built clairvoyant. Those are gifts. Sometimes they feel a little like curses because of the things human beings are up to that I'm like, I didn't need to know that. I didn't want to see that. And simultaneously, Haley, this is part of how we all ascend on planet Earth. The increased sensitivity, there are those of us, people like us who are doing this meditation there are those of us who are going first with the increased sensitivity. And it's this, us, those of us who are going first, who are going, ow, humans, I'm going to need you guys to stop with all of the crazy ways you hurt one another. It's those of us who are going first, who are sitting in legislation and policy making conversations, who are sitting, sitting at protests, who are, raising our hand and being the brave soul at work and saying, I don't think we should be treating people this way, our customers this way. Um, it's because we have that sensitivity that we are able to guide humanity where they're supposed to go. So, unfortunately, getting rid of the sensitivity, not possible. Slowing down the rate of transmission, possible. Shifting the frequency. So it's like, okay, I'm going to need a break from some of the foolishness. I need you to tune me in. Show me the happy person in this department store or this grocery store. Show me the soul who's happy, and then placing your attention like a laser beam on the single soul who is happy in there. And then expanding into, okay, why are they happy? What's the joy about? You can change the station, and that can help a lot, Haley. So yeah, with as an empath, there's the other gift with that is that you're not, the sponge works both ways. It takes in the water, but it also squeezes out the water too. So as you gain mastery with your own emotions, Haley, and your own divine neutrality, you have the capacity to push emotion out and transmute the energy in a room, literally transforming the feelings inside of another human being in real time. It's almost like you can reach in there and change their personal radio station. And that's a level of mastery that you can step into because, like I said, the sponge works both ways. But it does take tuning into your mastery to be able to do that. Kahani says, ha, okay, just so y'all know, I'm a guy this lifetime at least, ha. Oh, it's K-Ani, but I knew it should be Ki-Ani. Oh, Kiani? Kiani. Okay. Kiani, I'm sorry I provided the incorrect pronoun. Please forgive me. That was not meant as a disrespect. Thank you for letting us know. Phoenix Jordan, a split second before, and as you said now, this huge surge flew through me and my head flying to the right as it is surge and my body shooting up. I was like, boom. That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, the word now is extremely powerful in your meditations. Definitely feel free to sprinkle the word now in there when you're working with energy. Danette shares a couple of months ago, I had a dream about UK. You delivered me some codes and knowledge, and you were with Pleiadians. Those are my peeps. Thanks. Aw. No recollection of that, but hey, happy to hear that you got good codes and knowledge. Mother Healer says, I sometimes feel too much information are coming all at once. I feel overwhelmed and anxious. I had to step away and digest first, then go back to them in divine timing. Right on. Very good. It's another great key. Taurus feeling all. Allison's a Taurus too. Okay. And Phoenix Jordan's with that clear sentience. Right on. My sensitive souls. Concrete Angel shares, how do you feel about the planets in relation to the chakras as an astrologist? Do you feel they are representation of them in some way? I suspect, but I haven't gotten full confirmation about that just yet. But I do suspect that there is something like that perhaps going on. But I also am very clear that a few things are true. number one. Um, all of the chakras have not yet been fully anchored for us to know about and be aware of yet in this timeline. Um, there is the conversation that there are 12 whole chakras, but recognition and understanding of them and how they work and what they all do, not yet fully anchored in this timeline. Second thing, from the planetary perspective, I trust our scientists are divinely guided and our astronomers are divinely guided. I also know that they go back and forth so much on what's a planet and what's not, what's a dwarf planet, what's not a dwarf planet. And so there's a little bit of we're mid chapter on what's in our universe. And because we are mid chapter, things like the 13th sign are coming up, things like in the 13th planet, right? All of this stuff is like we are shifting in real time. And so all of the knowledge, all of the information that can be known is not yet known. So I think there's something to that. I just think we are awaiting an anchoring of more information. Cookie Martinez, never. Haley Alpert, feeling other people's feelings in terms of physical feelings. For example, I have two friends who are pregnant and I was feeling contractions in my body and also their labor pains and it was uncomfortable. Dang, Haley. Oh, wow, I didn't even know I could do that. Yeah, that's part of why you have that gift in the first place, is to be able to transmit, not just receive, right? It works both ways. And so, yeah, you can, I mean, the craziness about that is, Haley, that's a thing that people thought only existed for twin flames, where you could feel what was going on in somebody else's body, right? But the more and more and more our clairsentient people and our empaths open up to their gifts, which is actually a gift we all have, right? The more and more and more we all open up to our gifts, the more sensitive we become to one another and the less we want to hurt one another. And this is part of the way the ascension works. The ascension to this higher timeline is that our sensitivity to one another is opening up. So it's very cool. So yeah, you can totally do that. I would also, you can talk to that baby, you can provide comfort for the child who's in there, right? You can transmit the fact that your abdominals are not having contractions and you can reverse the flow back to them. So it's a really awesome, awesome, awesome power that you have. Truly divine. Allison, an empath trick anyone can try is to scan the environment for something you love. It can even be minute, like someone's nail polish. You can then transfer that feeling of love and expand it. Right on. Yes. Yeah, guys, I don't do the face thing, and that's just that. So if it's a real deal breaker for you, I'm so sorry, but it's a hard no for me. Less lights, less camera equals more action, and that's the way I run this show. Michelle Hahn, there are lots of endings and new beginnings lately, most of which I have been really wanting. Good. I'm so happy you're having experiences that you've been wanting. I felt like my root may have been unbalanced due to lots of moving when I was younger, but remembered home. Right on. It's interesting, Michelle. I have found for people who have moved a lot as a child, um, it's it's like we need to create a root within us. It's like we have to root ourselves, and part of what's going on there is the power of our frequency is so powerful that we were literally being placed like army deployment, like military deployment. We were being placed where needed. And so some of that kind of moving around a lot, we're annoyed by it, but we're built with the survivable power for it, because some of that transmission of love frequency was desperately needed in those places that we were stationed. Um, so yeah, it's there's a resilience in you because of it, and there was a reason for it. Is some of what I've been shown. Home is within you and not external. That's right. That's right. Beautiful girl. Had an understanding yesterday that the need for labels, understanding is a very human need. Right on. It is. It is all energy experience. We don't really need to know it all, if that makes any sense. Amen. Amen. Beautiful girl. That's exactly why I was sharing. Like, you don't even have to know what the clearing is, what things are getting cleared from which timeline. That's like entertainment for the human mind, for the conscious mind. But if you are releasing and you can just feel releasing happening, just trust. Trust that the releasing that is happening is what needs to happen. Because sometimes to re-see the trauma is to relive it and reactivate it. And that's not necessary when it's already on its way out. Thank you indeed for the tip. Haley says, I've already met both babies in my dreams. Haha, that's awesome. Good for you. I'm glad you still love me, Cookie. Danette says, who needs a face with that voice? Hubba hubba. That's hilarious. Thank you. Concrete Angel, I don't blame you. Our moon girl. And the beautiful girl says, I second that, Danette. Danette, you're so funny. Awesome. I love it. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. Geraldine Freymark says, I had a Kundalini for 4 months back in 2018 after meeting my twin flame. And talk about a shakeup, chaotic and beautiful, walking contradictions. Yeah, Geraldine. Talk about life upside down. I mean, for those of us who met our twin before 2020, right? Our lives already got turned upside down. Like, it makes 2020 feel like a walk in the park. I mean, not totally, but it's like, okay, I mean, if I could go through what I went through with my twin, I can do 2020. I can survive this. And I think that's probably why, those we were awakened on the timeline that we were awakened, so that we had that expanded heart energy, that expanded love energy, that expanded resilience energy as a result of carrying that frequency of unconditional love. We have that in us, so that in a moment of true crises, for the non-twins, for the non-light workers, like 2020, because this really is a moment of human crises. Those of us with those abilities like Haley, or abilities like mine, it's like we can provide the guidance, we can send the transmission, we can do the healing, we can create the calm, we can be the peace in the storm that the rest of the world is so desperately looking for. But it came as a result of getting that activation when we got it, getting our lives turned upside down when they got turned upside down, losing the things we lost when we lost them, right? All of that shifting occurred at a divine time, so that we can be the light we are meant to be at a moment such as now. Okay? So Michelle Hahn, so funny because it feels like during the DM is always swirling in the back of my mind, but when I was here, every other distracting thought appeared and he kind of faded into the background. It's crazy how that works, huh, Michelle? Not sure if I phrased it right. I'm not sure if I got it. I'll be honest. So, yeah. But yeah, it's funny how that, just the energies they do interesting things when we work with them. But it's the fun thing is you can command them, especially as a light worker. For me, I think 2018 was the year of biggest upheaval. Yeah. Allison is like, haha, yes, Kay. I was like, COVID is no big deal. Sherry, yeah, I met my tone in 2018. I am so thankful for the ascension work I did prior to 2020, right? Could you imagine? Could you imagine trying to do all of that while this was going on? We'd have lost our marbles. Oh my gosh. Concrete Angel, I've been with mine for 14 years, married 11. You have helped keep us together through your reading. Oh, unconditional love is everything. 2020 is a beautiful disaster of love. That is a quotable, beautiful disaster of love. Concrete Angel, that is so, thank you for sharing that with me. I had no idea. So grateful. I'm glad you guys are able to keep going, keep strong. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Absolutely, Michelle Hahn. Beautiful girl. Yes, when the pandemic hit, blew up, I just knew it was time to step up my energy work for others. It just felt right. Right on, beautiful girl. Right on. I love that Phoenix is just listening and laughing and cracking up. I hope you're entertained, Phoenix. I really do. I'm glad we can entertain the masses. Hey, Kylie. How are you, sweetie? Great to see you here, hon. Okay, beloveds, it was a treat to get the opportunity to meditate with you, to answer your questions, and to hear how the meditation was impacting you. Thank you so much for all of your light work, for all of your heart grid work, for all of the ways that you have struggled and toiled and, man, suffered on planet Earth to be the light worker that you are. Your service does not go unnoticed. Your service does not go unfelt. And your service is met with deep gratitude, not just by me and everyone here, but also by the divine and the angels working on the other side, who recognize how hard this has been and who have been cheering for you and supporting you and moving the roadblocks that they could move for you. You are a true gift, a true gift. Remember your power, okay? Thank you, beautifuls. It was a really, really, really beautiful gift to be able to do this with you. I'll see you on the channel. Take great care. Bye for now.